You're grinding for hours, pushing your limits, but the muscle growth you expect never comes. The effort is there, the science is missing. This is hypertrophy. Training creates micro tears in your muscle fibers. Your body then rebuilds them, not just repaired, but thicker and stronger. Welcome to the lab. I'm Sean. My mission is to decode complex fitness science into simple, actionable strategies for your goals. Today, we're unlocking the 3 drivers of muscle growth: mechanical tension, muscle damage, and metabolic stress. This is your blueprint. You will understand the how at a cellular level and exactly what to do in the gym to trigger maximum growth. First, we must master the undisputed king of hypertrophy, mechanical tension. Mechanical tension is the force placed on muscle fibers when they resist a heavy load. It is the single most important signal for growth. But how does the muscle know it's under load? Meet the mechanoreceptors, tension sensors embedded in the cell membrane. When activated, these sensors convert the mechanical signal into a biochemical one. This process is called Mechanotransduction. These signals activate critical growth pathways, most importantly, the master switch for building muscle, mTOR. So, what does this mean for you? To maximize mechanical tension, you must train intensely, either with heavy weight or very close to failure. Performing sets that are too easy, far from failure, creates junk volume. It makes you tired, but it doesn't create enough tension to signal growth. Beyond intensity, training through a full range of motion, especially in the stretched position under load, is critical for optimal mechanical tension. In fact, new research shows this stretch-mediated hypertrophy may be a uniquely powerful trigger for growth. To summarize, focus on effective sets, training 0 to 3 reps from failure, and prioritize exercises that challenge your muscles at long lengths. Now, let's talk about the most controversial mechanism, muscle damage. We all know the feeling: delayed onset muscle soreness or DOMS after a brutal workout. For years, this damage was thought to be essential for growth. Intense training, especially the eccentric or lowering phase, creates microscopic tears in the structure of the muscle fibers. This damage triggers an inflammatory response. The body sends immune cells to the area to clean up the debris. Crucially, this inflammation also signals the satellite cells, the muscle's resident stem cells, to awaken and begin the repair process. But here's the twist. Modern science shows that muscle damage isn't the goal. It's a byproduct of high mechanical tension. In fact, excessive damage can actually impair growth. If the body is too busy repairing catastrophic damage, it can't focus on building new muscle. The goal is to stimulate the muscle, not annihilate it. Soreness is not a reliable indicator of an effective workout. To summarize, accept damage as part of the process, but don't chase it. Focus on consistent progression in mechanical tension. And finally, the mechanism everyone loves to feel, the pump or metabolic stress. Metabolic stress is the buildup of byproducts from energy production inside the muscle cell, like lactate and hydrogen ions. This happens mainly with higher rep training, short rest periods, or techniques like drop sets, anything that creates that burning sensation. One proposed mechanism is cell swelling. The buildup of metabolites draws fluid into the muscle cell, causing it to inflate. The cell interprets this swelling as a threat to its structural integrity. In response, it may trigger signaling to reinforce its structure, and thus, grow. More importantly, the fatigue from metabolic stress forces your nervous system to recruit more muscle fibers, even with lighter weights. But it's crucial to remember, metabolic stress is secondary to mechanical tension. The pump feels great, but it won't build significant muscle on its own. To summarize, use metabolic stress techniques as a finisher at the end of your workout, after you've done the heavy work for mechanical tension. Now that we understand the triggers, let's see how it all comes together in the building process itself. All 3 mechanisms ultimately lead to one goal: increasing muscle protein synthesis, or MPS. Hypertrophy is a net balance. If the rate of protein synthesis building is greater than the rate of protein breakdown, the muscle grows. Training elevates MPS for 12 to 48 hours, depending on your experience level. This is the crucial window to supply protein for the raw building materials. But for long-term growth, we need more than just MPS. We need to expand our production capacity. This is where satellite cells return. Satellite cells can fuse with muscle fibers and donate their nuclei. These nuclei are the control centers that allow for more protein synthesis. More nuclei means a greater long-term potential for growth. This is the biological basis for muscle memory. So the process is, mechanical tension triggers signals which lead to increased MPS, supported by satellite cells, building a bigger, stronger muscle. So how do you translate all this science into a training program? First, focus on intensity, training close to failure, and effective volume, 10 to 20 sets per muscle per week. Second, ensure you're applying progressive overload and support the process with enough protein and quality sleep. Hypertrophy is an adaptation to stress. By understanding the science, you can apply that stress more intelligently and efficiently. If you learned something new, subscribe for more. Check out the full playlist right here. Train smart, recover well, and I'll see you in the next one. Sean out.